Piece of cake, walk in the park, easy as falling off a log. Have I said that before today? Okay. How are we doing? We're doing okay. Now, the other side's a little harder because our information is in a per unit basis. And the stuff on the formula on the right side, or excuse me, the left side, my right arm, the left side of the board, it's going to be a little harder. And we're going to be solving for TR. Yes?
Will we want to put units on that, or will we get counted off if we don't?
Tests are multiple choice. Tests are multiple choice. I'm happy to put it on the board, though, so it looks more clear. Questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? Any more? Okay. So here, we need to work on this. There's one number in particular that's really easy, and you should grab it real quick, JJ.
6 million for fixed cost.
Precisely. Precisely. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you, and I hope you're listening, for the other two numbers, TR is going to be the answer, right? TR is what we're going to solve for. TR is what we're going to solve for, and we're going to need a TR in here as part of our calculation. It's going to be something times TR, something times TR. Okay? So I want to know that we've got two parentheses in there that are blank, and that's what we need information about. Rebecca Carter, can you help me with either one of those?
Yeah, the variable cost is going to be 1,000 times. I had it as 1,000 times X, but I guess it would be 1,000 times TR.
Well, 1,000 times X works over here because we're solving for X, and X was the number of units. Okay? Over here, though, TR stands for what? So we need something that's a function of total revenue. And so 1,000 times total revenue doesn't really make sense, does it? No. No. Good answer. Okay, it doesn't make sense. So we need something other than that. And the problem, oh, it doesn't say it as specifically as it could. Evan, you have a clue? Idea about what we might want to do here? Anybody have an idea? Sir?
Wouldn't be, since variable cost is 1,000 and total revenue, that's per unit. So there's $1,000 of variable cost and 1,000. So would be half.
What's the VCR? What's VCR stand for? Variable cost ratio. How do we calculate the variable cost ratio? Chris, you got that? He's working on it.
In total or per unit?
In total. Oh, actually, per unit in this case, because that's our data is per unit.
Variable cost per unit divided by sales price.
Selling price per unit. That's exactly right. And so that's what we want to put here. We want to put the variable cost ratio here because we're trying to calculate total variable cost. And so the variable cost ratio is, and we've already calculated this before. What is the variable? No, we haven't calculated the variable cost ratio. How would we go about calculating the variable cost ratio, Seth? 1,000 over 2,000, which is variable cost per unit divided by selling price per unit, which is 0.5. Okay? So we're going to put 0.5 there as the variable cost ratio. So that means variable costs are 50% of total revenue. So now we've got a data point, we've got a formula here that this is a function of that. 50% of total revenue is variable cost. Does that make sense? Joe?
No.
What doesn't make sense? That's not very helpful.
Well, I missed last class, and you probably.
Okay. Did you watch the video?
No, not yet.
Okay, you might find that helpful.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I highly recommend watching the videos, particularly if you've missed, right? Yes, ma'am.
Why did you put the total revenues up by variable costs and operating?
Because we need, just like we did for variable cost, just like we have an X that we solve for here, and there was an X everywhere but in fixed costs, here we are solving for total revenue. And fixed cost is a number, but everything else has to be a function of total revenue, because that's what we're going to solve for. So we need it algebraically.
Right, but like on the selling price per unit one,
Yes.
those were already like there, you didn't just throw them in there.
But which is why this one was harder. But how did I just throw this in there?
Like the total revenues in your original equation, they're just not there, and then you just put them in.
But there wasn't an X here.
No.
So it's just, I did kind of just put them in, and they will always be kind of put in when you're doing this kind of a problem. If that's kind of the easiest, perhaps that's the easiest way to think about it for now, until you get a better sense for conceptually what's going on, okay? But this is a story problem. If you didn't like story problems in algebra, you're going to hate me. And so, but we've got to be able to solve this, and we've got to be able to solve for total revenue. So algebraically, we can't put numbers here. In terms of, you can't put a dollar value here, because we've got to ultimately be able to solve for this total revenue. And it's the same for here. You can't put a dollar value there, just $5 million, because then we're not solving it. Because variable costs, what's true definitionally of variable costs? What's the definition of variable costs? They vary with the number of units produced. Okay, so these need to vary, and so we need to allow this to vary, and allow this to vary, and then we calculate that. And we allow this to vary, and this to vary by having the same total revenue we are solving for as part of the variable that represents that number, okay? Alex, how about operating income? You got a number there for parentheses? We need something in the parentheses. And this one's a little easier, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure of it.
You're not sure. Sarah, do you want to take a stab at it? What goes in that parenthesis?
0.25.
And that's it. And that's it. Because it's, what is it? It's 0.25 of what?
The dollar value.
What's TR stand for? Total revenue, same thing, right? So 0.25 of total dollar value of revenue.